I'm back. Still in this recording space, temporary space, but I already updated that in the first review. Anyway, guys, today we are doing another movie review. This is Toy Story 2, released back in 1999. Um, this movie. The big part of it was that Woody gets captured to go along with this toy collection that the Owl from Al's Toy Barn, who's working a crappy job at Al's Toy Barn, but he wants to collect the items and then sell them for a ton of money off to a museum in Japan. So Woody gets captured for that, and he's like, and the other characters try and get him back, and Woody ends up making new friends and ends up wanting to stay, but then he doesn't want to stay, and then he goes, and then they all do a huge adventure, and then he ends up being able to keep his new friends with his old friends, and they're back at Andy's house. Yay! We learned some other new characters in this one. Jesse gets introduced in this one, and Bullseye and the Prospector, though the Prospector does not stay after the second movie. This movie was released back in 1999. It was Pixar's second movie. They would do Bug's Life, and then after Toy Story. No, wait. Bug's Life was 98. Or was it? Either Bug's Life was. Either it goes Toy Story, Bug's Life, then Toy Story 2. Or it's Toy Story 2, Toy Story and Toy Story 2. Somebody's going to have to fact check me on that. I think it goes Toy Story, Bug's Life, then Toy Story 2. Then there's a long span until Toy Story 3. Then, of course, Toy Story 4, that shit show. We'll get to that later. But anyway, I think it was, Toy Story 2 was an overall, I think, pretty good movie. Um, I like Al. Al's just, weird. The Newman guy films him, plays him, and I think whenever that guy's in any movie or TV show, it's always going to be funny because that's his job, is to be the funny fat guy who doesn't know what he's doing. And yeah, I like it. I like the Jesse and Bullseye characters. I think they complement the other characters well, and I think they did a good job of being able to make it incorporate into future movies. I'm glad the Prospector doesn't last through the second movie. I think that was a good idea to have him be the antagonist character. He's like, I mean, Al's the actual antagonist character, and um, then the Prospector's like the secondary, yeah, character. Um, what else? And then you got the whole situation with Buzz. There's a whole second story with Buzz, and then like the Zurg toy, and then like how trying to defeat Zurg. It's kind of like a Star Wars reference thing, but anyway, it was pretty much to be like, I don't know, just like a secondary story. And then there's like a Buzz imposter that ends up fighting Zurg, and then they end up becoming good friends and stuff. And there's that whole thing going on there. But this movie isn't as strong as the first movie. It doesn't need to be, and it doesn't have to be. I actually don't think it should be. So I think it's a good thing that it's not. But it was still a pretty good movie. Wasn't as good as Toy Story. Nothing's really gonna be Toy Story in the overall spectrum for people in their likeness in the Pixar movies. Um, though I do have some preferences that might be a little bit strong, that might give it a good run for its money in that situation. But I guess I'm just gonna say, I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. Because Woody learns more. I like I don't know. I think there was more that could have been done with the movie, but it would have been a little extra. I think it was a good second movie. That's what I'll say. I think it was a good second movie. Um, because it wasn't a standalone. It was definitely not like a finale movie. It was definitely not like a first movie. It wasn't as strong to be in any of those categories. As a secondary movie, right between the third and the first one, that's a good spot for it, and I like that. And I think they hit a home run with some of the new characters. Well, usually when you introduce new characters to an original cast, it's not going to go over too well. But it went over really well with this, and they kept the characters that they knew were going to be useful and recognizable down the road. That was Bullseye and Jesse. They did not keep the Prospector. They did not keep Zurg because they knew that those weren't going to be good characters long term. They only knew they were going to be good for their subplots in the movie, that movie. And I like that. I think that they did a good job with that. Al's just a complete hilarious. I mean, he's evil, but he's pretty hilarious, with the Cheetos and stuff. And you learn more about Jesse's past. That's pretty emotional, I guess. I don't know. Nothing here is really emotional. The emotional stuff comes in the next movie, and we'll get to that later. But overall, I think this movie would get an 8 out of 10, just because I think it's in the first three, the good three. It's the weakest, but it's not weak actually overall. So I think they did a pretty good job with that. So alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for another movie review. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.